Hey guys, welcome back to Minecraft Programming with Python. So in today's video we're going to start spectacular spires. One strength of variables is that you can change the value of a single variable and all its value will change everywhere the variable appears in the program. You can make a program do totally different things just by doing this. So you can change using math operators, or you can like multiplication or division, you can just change it really simply. So in today's video, you're going to learn how to use division and multiplication to build a very tall, thin tower, also called a spire. So this is essentially what the program should look like. This is the base for today's program. So if you would like, you can pause the video now and literally copy all this into your program. And if you would like, you can change some of the values and make sure you understand this. But if you recognize this is kind of the base for a normal Minecraft program, as we did in the previous video. This is sort of like the structure, the foundation, and this is just additions for whatever you might want to do, like teleport blocks, teleport yourself, maybe change the block underneath you, as we did in the previous video, and anything you want. So as you can see in today's video, we are going to be making a spire. So let me explain these one by one. I explain what these are. So this is essentially going to be the height. This is a variable we've set. And block type is the block that we want to use. So today we're going to use stone, which is 1. And you know what these are. I explained what these are. Comments. These are little notes for you to come back and realize, or not realize, or help yourself understand what these lines of coding are. So you won't have to like literally go through every single line of code to look for it. Just these little comments will be helpful. So I've added them in for you, to help you guys out. So the side height is essentially the so in a spire there's always that second layer that's always a little bit smaller than the base. So that's what the side height is, and that's the length of it and the height of it, I guess. And these are the variables that we'll be assigning to that side height and the block type 1. And actually, let's change it. Let's go for a pretty random variable. Random value for the block type variable. It's a 78. I don't know what that is. I have no idea. We'll learn that soon, hopefully, when we run the program. But moving on, as you can see, it says spire size should be 2 times the height. So the spire size is essentially saying the sort of like that the height of the actual point. So point height equals 4. And you can assign any variable. You can be like point height equals height times 2, or height squared, anything like that. Now I'll be explaining how to do squared soon. And these are the assigned variables there. And this is the base height. This is essentially the foundation, and we've assigned that as 1 layer instead of 2. And these are the variables for those as well. So now, if we go run this program, this should hopefully make a spire near us. I don't know what block it will be made out of, but we will see. Let's just have Minecraft open on the side here. Let's run the module. Yes, we want to save it. There we go. Okay, let's run it. And now if we... Where is it? Oh, okay. Okay, maybe 78 wasn't the best block to use. Essentially, what 78 was, it was actually a sort of like a snow layer. And it's tried its best, I guess. It's tried to make a spire out of that. I mean, this is the best it could do. So let's just make it out of a different block. Let's go for another random one. Randomize it a bit. Let's go for that. There we go. And if we're going to run it again, there we go. If we're going to run this, there we go. Get Minecraft back open. Oh, okay, that's not the best block either. Guys, we're getting really bad blocks here. This isn't rails, and rails, they can't just randomly stay in the sky, so they just drop. So, you know what, just for the sake of the video, let's just go for one. Let's just go for stone, because that's the one I know is guaranteed to be stone, rather than anything else. So if you go run this, F5, yes, there we go. And now if you go back, as you can see, that has made this spire right here. So this is essentially what the spire will be like when you run the program. And hopefully, if you have copied my program, you don't have to. You can change it to whatever you want. But if you have, then this will be this will what the spire will look like. And you can change the values around, have a bit of fun with it. See if you'd like to maybe increase the height of the spire if you'd like, or maybe even like, I don't know, just make the base of it like larger, or make the base currently it's at 1, so make it thicker, I guess, and do a lot more things. But if you want to change the height variable and rerun the program, that won't actually affect the height of all parts. So to fix this, what you have to do is actually change the specific parts. So all parts of the spire's height change when you change the height variable. You change the point height and the base height variables to include expressions that use height variable and multiplication or division operators. So for example, for the point height, we can change it to height times 3. Or for the base height, we can change it to height times a half. So what this will do is this will make the point height 3 times what the height would be, and this will make the base height half the height. So this will make it a little bit different, obviously, and I'll show you now if I run the program with that different bit of code. So if we go and change this now to point height, will be here. So that will be height. There we go, height. Multiplied by 3. There we go, height multiplied by 3, and the base height is going to be height multiplied by, well, not multiplied by, we'll just put divide by 2 because it's the same as multiplying by half, but yeah, multiplied by 2, divide by 2, sorry. So now, if we go and actually, let's move away from it because we don't want the two spires kind of like merging. So let's go and run the program. There we go, yes, save it. Now, if we have a look, where is it? Oh, there it is. So as you can see, you can tell the difference, definitely. So if we look here, the height of the spire is only 2 blocks. If you go back here, let me just run back here quick. This has increased the height, the height of the spire by 3 more, which is what we wanted because it's height times 3. And I believe, off the top of my head, the base is half the size. Let's have a look. So it's 5 by 5. I don't think the base has actually changed, has it? No, the base hasn't changed. Okay, my bad. Sorry. This was my mistake. The base hasn't changed. It's just the spire that's changed since we changed the value in the program. So you can have a play around with it, change the value, see what sort of different structures you can create, and have them go in this on like a brand new world, not your like good world that you have all your buildings built in because you don't want it getting messy. Just have a play around with it in a random world, and once you get like different ideas, different structures you want to build in your own world, then have a go and try building them just using this program. So you won't have to even start basing blocks anymore. Okay, maybe not a few lines of code, but lines of code that aren't too much will easily make a spire for you or anything you want. So these are two maths sort of theory stuff that we may need to learn. So exponents. Exponents are used to show that a number can be multiplied by itself a certain number of times. In Python, the exponential operator is demonstrated by this. So that is, for example, 2 to the power of 3. So that would be 2, and then 2 asterisk signs, and then 3. And 4 to the power of 3 can be written as 4 times 4 times 4. But in Python, it can also be written as 4, 2 asterisks, 3. So parentheses is an order of operation. Different operators have different priorities. So multiple operators and division and multiplication are evaluated from left to right, and then addition and then subtraction are calculated. So for example, the number of ender dragons we want in the world. So that will be equals 5 times 2, and that will be calculated first. Then it will be 4 divided by 2 because that's next. So that will be 2, 10 here, and then it will be plus calculated next. So minus 1 plus 2 is 1, and then that plus 10 is 11. So as you can see, there will be 11 ender dragons. Parentheses allows the order of the operations to be controlled. The operation in the parentheses will be evaluated first before anything else. So as you can see, in the difference here, if we do this now, multiplication has to come first. So I'll be 18 minus 2 is 16. But here, since I put the brackets here, the bracket 6 is priority. So that will be 3 minus 2 first. That will be 1 times the 6, which will be 6. So that's the answer there. Handy math tricks. Shorthand operators. Python has shorthand operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So for addition, as you can see, it's plus equals, and then subtraction is minus equals, multiplication asterisk equals, and division is slash equals. So as you can see, all the operators haven't actually changed, it's just they've been added on with an equals. So for example, we've got a variable here that says sheep equals 6. So now the sheep variable has got 6. So instead of writing 6 plus 5 or sheep plus 5, you can easily just write sheep, which is this variable, plus equals 5, so that will change it. That will produce the value for that variable as 11. Playing with random numbers. Using random numbers is one way to add some mystery and fun to your programs. You never know what you'll end up with. Many real-world board games rely on random numbers. For example, Snakes and Ladders. If you think about it, throwing a dice determines how many spaces you have to move across the blocks. but so that adds some randomness to it. And Python can generate random numbers for you easily. So let's simulate the roll of a dice, for example. So in order to do this, as you can see, these are the 2 lines of code you need. So import random is importing a library called random, and this is a line of code that randomizes that number and produces that random number. When you want to create a random number, make sure you include the import random and the randint function. And this generates an integer that the program can use just like any other number. The numbers you place inside the brackets as arguments tell randint to generate values between the first number and the second number. So as you can see in this example, it was 1 to 6, so it can be any of those 6 numbers. You can use randint to add numbers to get random numbers to the value of a variable. You can even generate negative numbers. So let's have a look. So as you can see, this is sort of what the program should look like. So the lowest number you can generate is 0, and the highest number is 99. So if you go and run this now, let's run the module. Yes, we need to save it. So this will run the program, and right now, as I haven't asked to display it, it has actually displayed it. So when you do run the program, for example, the one with the spire, you can randomize the height. So for randomizing that will use that random value that is generated for the height or the base height, whatever you want. So yeah, this has been randomizing numbers and creating very beautiful structures. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Today was quite a long video, and it was a very in-depth one. Hope you guys understood that. Hopefully you did. And I guess I'll see you guys later in the next video. Thank you for watching.